books we're teaching. So that sparked our interest because we were gamers. I had a girlfriend at the time who was going to school in the States, so I got her to buy for me and bring it out to Trinidad. So I got my game in December 2005, and we just played for fun. Me and a couple guys from class. We were all in the same finance class. And it blew our minds, the amount of information that thing had. Just one little session. Because we were doing a degree in business administration. And I think that's what made the major difference as compared to other Cashflow clubs out there. We were way younger and we were doing a degree in business. So we got to compare the business education we were learning from the Rich Dad books and the games to an actual degree in business. And there was no comparison. So we ran to our finance lecturer at the time. His name was Cecil Sylvester. And we said, Cecil, we found this game that taught finance a whole semester working just like 3 hours. And you know what he did? He discouraged us from playing. He said, focus on your schoolwork. That game is waste of time. You have to focus on your project. We had a project to do a business plan. Business plan ended up being 66 pages long. That's not realistic. Business plans are like 4 or 5 pages long. So I thought something was off. So we gladly disobeyed. We kept those sessions going. Come on in, come on in. We kept those sessions going just to see where this thing will end up. And it was, completely mind-blowing. It got more popular as time went on. More and more people started tracking us down. Is it cool on that side? I think the guys should sit down there because guys, we like cool. Yeah. So people started tracking us down. And that's when I realized that, well, my friends who played the first time, they played, they enjoyed it, they kept on coming back, but they weren't starting their own Cashflow clubs or they weren't buying the game and doing this. So I realized I had to keep on doing it myself and inviting people and that kind of thing. Brightech allowed us to use their facilities as long as we were students. But in 2006, I graduated. So Brightech kicked us out. So we had to find a new home. So I started holding sessions at my apartment in Yuri, in the kitchen. That's where I met Dwight. Dwight was one of them who came. We ran 3 sessions almost every weekend for the first 4 years. We knew that in those days, nobody would really believe what we had to say. Nobody would believe that I came to all those things and believe us who are young little kids, early 20s, teaching finance. Who are really going to take us seriously. So we just said, okay, we just train as much people as we can until something happened. That was our thing at the time. So we kept the sessions going in my apartment, and then I got my first job after university at Guardian Group now. And that's right there in St. Augustine. And they allowed us to use their conference room upstairs. Big meeting room. So I had that location at my apartment, and then people opened their homes to us. A lot of people realized that we're on the right track with this thing. So we use other people's homes. There was a church in St. Augustine called I See It. Right? I was not a church member, but they allowed us to use their facilities. And I think part of the incentive was to get new members, new church members. But it didn't work. They just allowed us to use their facilities, right? Every Friday, which was the weirdest time to hold a Cashflow session. Everybody went to lime on a Friday, but not come to learn finance on a Friday. But they came in droves. So we realized, there was a potential here. But again, we didn't know exactly what to do. We just said, okay, we just keep on training people and see what will happen. My mom was very against what we were teaching people. And she's a good accountant. So she really was not agreeing with our definition of an asset. And I'll get into that, because it's slightly different from the typical accounting definition. Hey, Yuri, Dickson, I don't see you there. When more people come, you'll get more afternoons. You'll get more chairs for the gallery and open up and everything. Yeah? Hey, Adrian, good on. So, my mom, evening. Yeah, all right. Yes, so eventually in 2008, I finally convinced my mom to allow me to use her house in San Fernando because at the time, we were getting very popular. Facebook came out in 2007. So people started seeing pictures of these Cashflow sessions and the rumors started spreading of this thing that's teaching people how to make money. Right? I'm happy to see some people here from the early days like Dwight and Adrian and that kind of thing. My mom's house where I grew up has an open floor plan. Perfect place to have a Cashflow session. So I finally went down there and I filled up a house with about 50 people from all over the country. you know. And she experienced her first Cashflow session. She didn't play it, she just was there around and that kind of thing. And I remember halfway through the session, she grabbed me by my shirt sleeve and she pulled me in the kitchen. And she said, no more free sessions! No more free sessions! She said, this is amazing! I said, Mom, I thought you didn't agree with the teacher. She said, screw that! You have to turn this up business, you can't be doing this for free! So my mom immediately retired from her job to help us turn this into a business because she saw something very, very potent that could really change things and, you know, turn it into a business. I said, cool. So we tried to figure out how we could monetize it. And at the time we decided to do an event called iInvest, you know, like iPhone. That's the only thing we could come up with at the time. So while we were putting together the event at Center of Excellence and that kind of thing, you know, this work plan, we're going after sponsors and stuff. You know, people started noticing what we're doing, and eventually we got the attention of the Richard Company, and we became an official Cashflow company. We got offered that opportunity, you know. And the rest is history. We were able to turn it into a business. We got a course from the Richard Company, the course we're still using. Up to this day, we are still one of the only Cashflow clubs in the world that still run courses. Other Cashflow clubs run big events because that's more money, right? But we don't just want to be profitable. We want to actually change people's lives. So we kept the courses running. In 2009, we launched Cashflow Club at Center of Excellence, big session, and you were there at that session, big launch and everything, and you know that's when things really started happening. Then we started charging for our sessions and that kind of thing. The first industry that really opened up to us was the insurance industry, and actually because I was in insurance, right? They gave us full support. Garden Life allowed us, well, Garden Group, sorry, allowed us to use their facilities at St. Vincent Street, Port of Spain, at a discounted price, and we were there for years, holding sessions. The first time we launched the official course and we charged for it, we launched in Port of Spain and in San Fernando at the same time, right? It was the first time I advertised in the papers and everything, and the classes were full. At the time, we used to charge like 640 TT. That's like 100 US in those days, right? We kept the price low because we wanted, you know, not just rich people to afford it, but also middle class and even poor. Even now, we keep the price low. It's only $1,000 for the course. It's now a 6-week course, and that's affordable for basically everyone. That's the price of our Jordans, right? So even we have a lot of poor people that have Jordans, right? So they can afford it, and we have payment plans, so there's no excuse. Over the years of training, we started realizing, because I had to learn a lot of neuroscience and that kind of thing over the years, to try and figure out how to explain to people how this thing working. And we didn't know. I wasn't a neuroscientist, I'm a business administration major, right? So we really had to learn that kind of stuff. Eventually we found another franchise from Canada, Montreal, Canada, called Mad Science. And they figured out using the same techniques that Cashflow Club is using, but in the field of science and engineering. So we raised capital and purchased that franchise, brought it to Trinidad, and we started training people in science and engineering too. And then years later, we kept on, when you do Cashflow, and if you ever read the Rich Dad books, you know that the ability to sell is your #1 skill in business. It'll make or break you in business. Sales equals income. So when people do Cashflow, the next step is to master sales. So the best way to master sales is to get a part-time or full-time sales job, do sales courses, read sales books. That's how you do it, right? So we were sending droves and droves of people to all these, the only sales course at the time was Dale Carnegie. Up to now is actually one of the only ones, besides ours. We sent people there like crazy. But eventually, they couldn't fulfill our demand. So about years later, 2017, we had no choice at all but to start our own sales training company. Right? So I partnered with John Ruman, that's the white version of me downstairs. Right? He's an entrepreneur from New York. We partnered with him to design a sales training course, and that is now our biggest money maker. We're getting a lot of orders. What makes it different is it's not just interactive, but it's fun. It has to be fun and interactive. That's how learning is supposed to be. That's how school is actually supposed to be. Because when it's fun and interactive, it hooks your brain. It hooks you, you become addicted to learning. And we see kids in mad science get addicted to learning about science. After they do our programs, they go online, they go on YouTube, and they try all kind of different experiments. They horrify some of their parents. Their parents don't know, what the hell is wrong with my child? Why is he doing experiments on insects and all kind of weird stuff, right? But it's just that the kids fall in love with learning because it's fun. When you're in a program like that that's fun and interactive, your brain goes into something called full engagement. You're fully focused, right? So even in a casual session, we actually have to do a countdown to get people to stop playing. And we have to do it all the time, right? Sometimes when we train corporate, they say, oh Raj, we have to have a break in between this because it's a 3-hour session, you know? It's a long session. Say, Raj, that's too long. People won't be able to focus. You need a break halfway in between. And in the break, they're going to have their food and drink and that kind of thing. I said, it's impossible. You'll see for yourself. You allow people to eat and drink during the session because they're not going to stop. And they always try to have a break and it does not work at all. People do not move from that table unless they have to pee. Unless they really have to pee. It just hooks you that much. It's an amazing feel to it. So you're doing Cashflow right now. What is your thoughts on it? Because you're in this class right here, right? So what are your thoughts on it right now? Because you're halfway through.
At first, it was a little puzzling to me because it's something new.
Yes. First session.
The first session. The second session, it piqued my interest to the extent I went to like some of the guys were getting like out of the rat race, and I was like, what the hell going on with me? But the third one, I decided to try something new, which was instead of taking the small deal, took the big deal. And then I realized, I'll take the risk then. And before I wasn't a person like that, I would just go with the flow. So it actually started to change my way of thinking towards. But all in all, it's doing what it's designed to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
It proves that every human being is a genius. Every human being is a genius. The school system still uses 19th century tactics to teach factory style education, rote learning. You cram it for exams like before, pacifying colors, and then 2 weeks you forget everything. You find that makes sense? Graduates come out to Yuri and they don't know nothing. Literally nothing. First class honors. You see where this thing, and we consider that to be normal. Right? But come on in. Grab a seat on that side because I have long sleeve. Right now the women are avoiding that side there because the seat blowing directly on it. You not feeling cold? You can move if you want. Yeah. Anytime you start freezing, you can move. Yeah. So, yeah, Cashflow is a game changer. So let me show you all what's going on here. So the mission of the company is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. That's the mission of the company. And if you learn anything about how we teach about business, the mission is the most important part of the business system. Anytime we meet entrepreneurs that have a business and they're struggling and stuff, it's usually the first thing we check is the mission. What's the mission of the company? Most times they don't even know. They have it written down somewhere. No. Or the staff don't know it either. That's a problem. Everybody's supposed to know the mission of the company. Everybody. It's supposed to be ingrained in you. It's supposed to be your reason for existence. The reason why you do what you do. Right? This mission, very powerful. That mission had me doing 3 sessions for 4 years straight. And still I'll be doing cash, so I'll probably be doing cash for the rest of my life, honestly. Right? Very, very powerful stuff. Now, this here is why it works so well. This is called the cone of learning. This shows the most effective ways to learn. And the bottom of the cone is the least effective way to learn. It's called reading. You only remember 10% of what you read, true? Think of the last book you've read. How much do you remember from it? Not much, right? Yeah. I'm not saying stop reading, I still have to read. I read a lot. I forced myself to learn to love reading because it was necessary. But it's still one of the worst ways to learn, 10% of what you read. Just hearing words, just listening to me talk, remember 20% of what you hear. 20%. Those who, anybody have photographic memory? Yeah? You know, I used to hate sitting down next to people with photographic memory in exams. You write 2 paragraphs and it looks so 2 pages. And they didn't study. Like people like that. But, you know what? You only remember 30% of what you see. And this is why education system is based. You go to class, listen to lecture, read the textbook, cram for exam time before, and 2 weeks later after you pass the exam with flying colors, you forget everything. And that's weird, that's not very smart. What we do is simulate the real experience. And think of it logically. If you want to fly to Tobago, and you have a choice of 2 pilots. One pilot passed the exams with flying colors, A+ student. Never flew, eh? Both pilots never flew. The second pilot practiced for hours and hours and hours in a simulation. Which one would you choose? Obviously, you don't want to die. The other pilot knows how to fly. He practiced over and over in a simulation. It might not be the real thing, but it's very close. Remember, 90% and more of what you do in a simulation. The only thing better than a simulation is doing the real thing. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, the only thing better than a simulation is doing the real thing. Right? And that's how most people make it in business, like Mr. Saka here. They go there and they make mistakes, and they make mistakes, and they make mistakes, and they don't care how much mistakes they make because they know they will succeed eventually. In the end, they will succeed. Right? In fact, in business, we encourage people to make mistakes. You should not be scared to make mistakes. The school